Massive series of lapses that have been reported. We have Sanjay Hegde joining us. Rahul Easwar is also with us. Naveen Chumal is also with us. Brinda Adige joins us. Deepak, of course, continues to report from Chitradurga. He's been stoic in his reporting there for the last 6 days. But before I go across to Deepak, I'll be first and foremost get in a comment from Brinda Adige. Brinda Adige, at long last, I don't know if you heard Mr. Parishram who was speaking, and you know, my mind was just boggled with the sheer number of violations. It's not just the lack of political will, it is the absolute red tape and lack of accountability of the babus. No councillor in a CWC did not visit the organization, didn't even convene a meeting with the children who are the complainants. And that is obviously the reason that it has taken so long and after so much difficulty that such a prominent person has finally been arrested.
You're absolutely right. Thanks to the relentless campaign and protest by civil society organizations, networks, and certainly the media for pursuing this from day one. Otherwise, this would not have happened. This arrest could have been done on the day the FIR was filed. And like I have been mentioning at various points, the Child Welfare Committee, the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, the Department of Women and Child, police, of course, violated all the procedures. They had so much to do. First thing, when you get a complaint from a child who has come away from that place, is for a team from the Child Welfare Committee to go into that hostel and find out whether there are other children who might have similar complaints, secure other children, safeguard all of them, including the victim survivor. None of that happened. They gave all the leeway to the alleged accused.
Well,
and the
absolutely.
alleged accused, along with politicians, of course, went around, you know, bragging about his innocence and conspiracy theories and all of those kind of things. I'm glad that people in power, irrespective of their positions, their influence with anybody, realize rule of law will prevail.
All right.
Not
well,
by
stay with us.
themselves,
Stay with us. Brinda Adige, stay with us. Before I go across to other guests, I want a quick update from Deepak. Deepak, where are you at the moment? Are you, is the accused, the principal accused being taken now to the court? Is he going to the police station? What is the information that you have at this point in time?
Well, Madha, give me a moment as I just get off my vehicle. Of course, we went to the hospital. He was not at the hospital. Now we've come, here at near the DSP's office. Now he, of course, is the Chief Investigating Officer as far as this case is concerned, the IO. And it seems like there is some sort of activity that's happening at this location. We were at the Mutt, like I told you a little while ago. I've just got information that once we left from the Mutt, trying to follow some of the cars that were moving, which we did suspect that the seer was in. After that, one of the doctors has spoken at the Mutt. He has confirmed that before he actually moved out of the Mutt, his health was checked by the doctors there. After that is when he left the Mutt. Like I mentioned, this was a complete op that was very hush-hush. The police, of course, didn't come with any of their sirens or any of their convoys or a large contingent of cops that they usually do in high-profile cases. Probably, at this point in time, they tried to ensure that as much as possible, it was kept low profile without the media glare. So as we speak right now, you're looking at, some sort of activity that's building up outside this particular office. This is the Deputy Superintendent of Police's office here in Chitradurga, where we are looking at one police vehicle that looks like the SP's vehicle that's here. There is, of course, right now some policemen who have been deployed outside as well. So definitely a lot of, developments expected, because if while we have, of course, got a confirmation that it is an arrest, there will be a lot of formalities that will have to be followed. And considering, that this is a very, very prominent seer, these formalities, of course, will have to be done very meticulously. One, of course, will be the medical examination that needs to be done. What we have been told is that the medical examination will be completed in the night itself, because they do not want a situation where tomorrow, there are a lot of people at the hospital. They wouldn't want the seer to be taken, during the daytime, so they could complete those formalities today itself, and they could produce him before a magistrate tomorrow. This is the latest that we are picking up, Madhav.
All right, Deepak, I'm going to give you a chance to catch your breath, because I believe you will have a very, very long night tonight, because there's going to be a series of developments that are to take place. We'll be tracking all of those developments, and certainly, as you rightly put it, the actions of the Karnataka police are going to be under the scanner. They've been under the scanner for the past 5 days, and they're going to be even more closely watched now, because any slip up on their part is going to lead to a lot of hue and cry and controversy. Let me quickly take across the information that Deepak has just shared with us with the lawyers on our panel. Naveen Chomal, arrest taking place under the cover of darkness. The police very quietly going there. There was media present there, and 10 minutes after the media leaves, the police conduct the arrest. A doctor is taken to that location as per sources who are telling Deepak this information to conduct the medical on the accused at that location. Now, how often do we see such things ever happen in any arrest of even the high-profile accused? It never happens with this degree of secrecy.
There is nothing secret about it. Only the care was taken to avoid any protest or any public reaction. That is the case. But coming to the point, Madhav, I am not opposing any of your views. In fact, it is highly respectable that all channels, media people, fourth estate has been very vigilant about it. But at the same time, we have to understand that the law should be fair to both the sides. So there is also a political undercurrent against the seer also. You see, I think the police has been forced, the state has been forced to act against the seer only because of a pressure that tomorrow the law and order situation may arise, the situation may go out of hand. So under the pressure, they had to hasten up the arrest. Otherwise, they could have waited for the court's order on the anticipatory bail application. Of course, I am not giving any judgment.
How much more long a rope would the police have given? They were beginning to sound, and their position was, please pardon my language, but their position was beginning to look, increasingly, with the scrutiny that is increasing on them, it was beginning to look highly untenable, because you have not even picked up a person, leave alone arrest him. At least interrogate this individual. And let me begin Sanjay Hegde on that point.
Let me complete. See, your language is absolutely perfect and very dignified. There is nothing over it. What the point that I am trying to say from the point of lawyer, that courts are filled with cases, even in POCSO cases, where people are seeking anticipatory bail, and in certain cases, court are granting also the relief. So it is not something new. So the police is not given the long rope, especially in the case where there can be a larger ramifications and fallout can be very disastrous for the society. So
Sanjay Hegde, there are larger ramifications that would have been disastrous, but on the face of it, the manner in which this arrest has been done, how often as a lawyer in your long career of over 3 to 4 decades have you seen this kind of an arrest happening, where everything is so surreptitious that even during an arrest the police go so cautiously, a doctor is taken to that location, if that information of our reporter Deepak is to be believed? Sanjay Hegde. All right, ground report coming in. Sanjay, before you answer, please, quick ground report from Deepak. Deepak.
Hello, sir. Our arrest agidara, sir. Swamijigal arrest agidara. Instantly say about our
ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಬಂದೋಬಸ್ತ್ ಗಣೇಶ ಬಂದೋಬಸ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸಾರಿ.
ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಯಾರು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಗಣೇಶ ಬಂದೋಬಸ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ನಮಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
That police officer telling Deepak that he is not aware of the arrest, that he is only part of the bandobast that is happening. And of course, if a bandobast is happening at 10:30 in the night and they are preparing for one that is ostensibly to take place later in the night, one can only imagine the seriousness with which the police is taking this issue, and rightly so. Perhaps finally they have become serious about this entire matter and the implications of it. Imran is now joining us from Bengaluru as well. Imran, what's the update coming in? What are your sources in the police telling you as far as this particular arrest is concerned? We can see a huge number of police personnel now who are walking out of that police station where Deepak is currently located. There is talk of some bandobast happening. Is this bandobast he's referring to happening in a court of law? What's going on, Imran? Please put it in context for our viewers.
Well, Madhav, as you know that the FIR was registered last Friday, and the past 6 days there has been intense coverage from Times Now over this issue. The fact that the senior ministers and even the former chief minister coming in support of the seer, saying that it's a conspiracy and giving him a clean sheet. Now, yesterday morning, the seer moved up for the bail. It was posted for hearing tomorrow. In between, the accused number 2 in the POCSO case, Rashmi, was picked up by the police for questioning, and after which, late in the evening today, just a couple of while ago, the heavy police presence happened around the ashram, and now what we're getting to know, he's been taken into custody by the police there. He's been taken in for questioning. Earlier also Swamiji tried to abscond from it. He was picked up from the border areas, was brought in. Many twists and turns in this case. After Dalit organizations protested today, civil society groups protested today, the government realized that this issue is not going to die down. Its intense pressure is building on it, and ahead of the Prime Minister also visit tomorrow, the government didn't feel like it's not acting on it. So they have, what we're getting to know is that they have picked up the Swamijis for questioning there today. Now, what will the questioning will be? What will they show as arrest? We have to wait and see. But at the moment, very senior officials are tight-lipped, heavy police bandobast there. And what we're getting to know from the ground is that he's been arrested in the POXO case right now. This is the latest development we're getting. And this is the case which is very high profile. Swamiji is a very strong leader of the Lingayat community, which is a very major community in Karnataka. And elections are next year. The government was hesitant to arrest him considering the ramifications and the political ramifications it will have in the coming elections. The opposition was also completely silent over this issue, considering the fact that they also do
all right,
want
there's a reaction coming in from
community.
Chitradurga. Let's listen in.
ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ.
ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್? ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ?
Personal who was speaking to Deepak a short while earlier, saying that he is not aware of the arrest. We will go back to Deepak for more on this as well. Deepak, you tried interacting with that police official who says that he is not aware of the arrest, but there is a bandobast being made. Can you give us more details? Where is the bandobast happening? Is it at the court? Is it at the residence? Is it at the mutt? What's happening?
Well, Madhav, like I mentioned, the cops at this point in time, are not revealing details at all. Now, that was a very senior level officer I spoke to a little while ago, and the same answer being given to the agency there, saying that he's here for a Ganesh Chaturthi bandobast. Now, I've moved around almost 15 to 20 kilometers in the last half an hour around the town. There are no Ganesha pandals installed, and the bandobast that's happening right now is to ensure that law and order situation is maintained, because this arrest is quite big, especially in the town of Chitradurga, and they want to ensure that the situation remains calm as it has been for the last 5 days. I've been here reporting over the last 4 to 5 days. Even near the premises of the mutt, not once has anybody come and shouted a slogan in favor of the seer. Now, they understand that if the allegations are so grave, and it's the, young women, who are, making these allegations, everyone understands that the seer has to come out clean through the process of the law. So, while, there have been some apprehensions whether there's going to be concerns about law and order, at least that's not something that we've sensed on the ground at all. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've seen protests demanding the arrest of the seer in Chitradurga. So, but however, police are taking precautionary measures. You can see there's a flurry of activity around where I am. I've just got another confirmation from a very senior police official that I asked 2 specific questions, whether he has been taken for a medical checkup or he's being questioned. The answer that I've got right now, Madhav, that he's being questioned, but they're not mentioning about the location where he's being questioned, and I'm yet to get an update about where that location is. And of course, at this point in time, the police do not want any sort of frenzy either with the number of people who are gathering there, or any information coming out that would lead to more people locally gathering. So this is what they're doing right now at the DYSP office. Barricading has been done. In all likelihood, he could be brought here as well. This is one of the prominent offices, police offices here in Chitradurga, and we will of course know in the next 10 to 15 minutes where he is going to be kept through the night.
Well, certainly, of course, it is a very, very challenging circumstance for not just you, but all the reporters who have been very intrepidly covering each and every twist and turn of this entire case, Deepak. I'm sure there's going to be a long night of reporting, and we will keep coming back to you for more quick updates on the story. Let me quickly, before I go back to Deepak and Imran, get in a word from our guests. When you look at these developments, Sanjay Hegde, the arrest taking place in the middle of the night, huge bandobast happening, and one can understand perhaps it's due to law and order reasons. They don't want the situation to get out of hand. But when you look at the kind of arrangements that have been made, is this something that one ordinarily sees? The fact that a doctor goes to the area of the arrest or the location of the arrest, conducts the medical there, is that something that one normally sees?
I'm sorry. Yes, Madhav.
Yeah, Sanjay, my question, I don't think you got my question. I was asking you the circumstances of the arrest happening in the middle of the night.
Unusual. Yeah. Madhav, here you must leave it to the discretion of the police.
Okay.
They know the best thing on the ground. If they want to make a show of it, they will make a show of it. If, on the other hand, they want to keep things under control, they think a quiet arrest is the best thing, and they've got the man cooperating, I have no problems whatsoever that they've kept things quiet. This is definitely the area of policing and of maintenance of law and order. I won't fault them on that. The only thing is that for so long, they waited so long that this kind of caution was necessary. And had it not been for the sustained questioning of civil society and the press, this arrest may possibly not have taken place. In fact, it was on your channel that I gave the instance of the Madni case, where just before the anticipatory bail came up in the Supreme Court, the Karnataka police arrested the man in Kerala. They've done something. Whoever took that cue has done a good job. For the moment, I welcome the fact that an accused is being put through the same rigors that other accused in such cases are put to.
Right, that's certainly that's certainly a very fair way of looking at it. It is the police's discretion, because if there is a law and order situation, it is the police who have to deal with that on ground. But Rahul Easwar, I think one point that Sanjay Hegde made is a very important one. It is that why did the police have to wait so long for things to come to such a pass, where there are protests taking place on ground in different cities of Karnataka? There are members and very prominent faces of the Lingayat community now coming out to say that in the true traditions of the Lingayat beliefs, he should submit himself, he should step down, submit himself before the investigating agencies, and if he is clean and absolved of charges, he can come back. Because this is certainly a very, very serious charge that the individual concerned faces.
Nobody is saying that these are not serious charges. So only the devotees are
urging due diligence, that some kind of due diligence should be there. Today itself, Basavarajan admitted that these girls stayed in his home for 2 days. So people are suspicious whether there is any child tutoring happen, whether there is any kind of conspiracy that is happening. So only due diligence. Ramchandra Tiwari has been in jail for 7 years. He was released just 2 months back, and he was in a fake POXO case. So there are many such cases which people have suspicion. So unfair treatment to anyone should not be meted. The only request any devotee is raising at that point was having due diligence, and that due diligence is a very important point, because POXO should not be misused. When POXOs are being misused, it can get a problem. And please remember one thing: arrest doesn't mean that he is a culprit. Arrest doesn't mean that he has already been convicted. Arrest is only being a part of the process, and that process should be followed. Nobody is against it. At the same point of time, branding him as a rapist, saying that police has arrested, is only filmy. That we should not do. We should wait for the court's approach and what the court says, if the case is going to prima facie stand. That is one question. Anyway, his hearing was about to come tomorrow. Maybe that will be delayed, because as Sanjay Hegde said, it is going to be changeover, because it was applying for some kind of a pre-arrest bail or an anticipatory bail. But we should wait for the court's position before taking a position of our own, because we don't know the undercurrent of politics that has been played in the mud for so long, and there has been an allegation of conspiracy. And Basavarajan today itself admitted that the children stayed in home for 2 days. So these things are suspicious. So let us not jump the gun and let us not create a prejudice. Arrest has been a process. Welcome that police has done it. But beyond that, right now the real aspect begins, and let's wait for the court order.
All right, let's wait for the court orders. Let's look at what the courts will say from here on as far as this arrest and this particular case is concerned. Let me quickly get an update from Imran. Imran, any update on what we are likely to see happening? Is the seer likely to be brought into that location that Deepak is at, that is the DYSP's office? Is he likely to be taken to the court? Any information that the police are sharing with you at this point?
Well, Madhav, at the moment, senior officials are not come forth and said, but they have confirmed 2 times now very clearly, and to my colleague Deepak there, that he has been arrested, and what now the procedure is that they can have 24 hours, they can put him for questioning, and they can take to the magistrate tomorrow. Let me remind you also, the bail application also is coming up for hearing tomorrow in the court. You have to say what the state has to say about it, but they have time to show his arrest. They'll probably be questioning and take him to the court. It's up to police's discretion now what to do. We have to wait and see what the procedure they will do. Very likely this has been given go consent by the by the state government there. Earlier we saw the statements of the Home Minister saying that he is a part of a conspiracy, most likely, and some way hinting that he is innocent in this case. But now, because of the intense pressure being built up on the ground, we saw that Dalit organizations and civil societies and the media has been constantly constantly highlighting the fact that as prominent Swamiji Seer is being shielded by the state government. The lackadaisical attitude in the investigation has probably put the state government to the back foot, and now to have forced them to take action in this case.
All right, stay with us. In fact, Imran, Tanveer Ahmed of the JDS also joins us. Tanveer Ahmed, this is a demand that has been made by civil society, by various groups, including lawyers and other Dalit organizations who have been protesting on ground as well. But political parties, unfortunately, including yours, one of your own legislators was seen visiting the mud despite these very serious charges, leading many to speculate that whether it is the BJP or the Congress or the JDS, it doesn't matter. Political parties and their soft approach is the reason that the police took so long to take action in such a significant POCSO case. Tanveer Ahmed.
Madhavan, let me just congratulate your channel and a lot of channels like yours and people who are working and fighting for the right cause from civil society. Today what happened, the arrest, is because of the pressure which was mounted by channel like yours and the other people. And regarding political parties, I think I just want to reiterate what Kumaraswamy said. Kumaraswamy said that it is the girls and their protection is far more important and superior than any political party, and including ours. So let me not take any political stand, political situation today. As Basvanna, the great founder of Lingayat Dharma, he says, Satyada Baladinda, Satyada Kedu Nodaya. We would like the truth to really prevail. I know Swamiji very personally. I have traveled with him. The mutt really does a lot of contribution. But however, the charges are very, very serious. And I don't think, one last point, now the politicians have to really take a back step. They should not really step in. Yediyurappa's statement saying that the pontiff is innocent and people are trying to fabricate the case. But imagine the amount of tension that is going to give it to the police who is doing investigation. Right now,
the certificate also came in from DK Shivkumar. As I was saying, legislators from different political parties went there. So it's not any one statement. Yes, that statement of Mr. Yediyurappa, of course, raised many eyebrows, but a subsequent statement by DK Shivkumar also was there, which also, of course, did not raise any questions, but in fact praised the Swami for his charitable works. But let me quickly get an update from Deepak on ground. Deepak, you've been reporting on the story. What's been happening? We've seen pictures of massive security deployment as well. Deepak, can you take us through what's happening on ground at the moment? What are your sources telling you? What's likely to happen?
Well, in all likelihood, like I mentioned, he's going to be, taken for a medical examination tonight itself. They are, not going to wait till, the morning, where there's going to be a lot of people at either of the medical colleges that they could go to, the government medical college here or the Baswa medical college. Those are the two prominent places where the medical examination could happen. That's something that's mandatory since, the police officials have told us that it's a case of arrest. This is something that they'll have to do. They're going to produce him before a magistrate tomorrow. And also we could expect now that he has been picked up. Also the accused number 2, Rashmi here, who was sent to a government shelter home in the night. Now she will be called in for questioning tomorrow, and there could be another arrest that could come in. Meanwhile, there was a police car that I showed you while I did come to this particular place just about 15 minutes ago. That was probably the SP's vehicle, and now that's gone from here. At this point in time, like I mentioned, the police are right now ensuring that this particular arrest, the movement of this year, the whereabouts are not made very clear. And then at this point in time, they're not also divulging details as to where the medical examination will be done, where he will be held for questioning, which police station. The case, of course, registered at the Chitradurga Rural Police Station. Right. But we saw activity at the DYSP's office. All right. Meanwhile, the other end of this
Deepak,
particular road...
Sorry to interrupt you, but there's an on-record confirmation coming in. In fact, news agency ANI is reporting a quote from Alok Kumar, ADGP Law and Order of Karnataka, and he says that the Chief Pontiff of Sri Murugha Mutt, Shivamurthy Murugha Sharanaru, accused of sexually assaulting minors, has been arrested. The due procedure will be followed. Medical test and investigation will be done as per the procedure. He will also be produced before a judge. So therefore, that production expected. Of course, the police formally have 24 hours before he actually does it. But let me quickly go back to Deepak. Deepak, yes, back to you. Sorry for interrupting you there. Please carry on.
Yes, Madhav, like I was showing you, yes, Mr. Alok Kumar, of course, confirming what we've just broken, and he has been monitoring this particular investigation externally, as well as the SP, of course, of the area has been taking lead. You can see more officials here. They have been called in from nearby police stations. They are ACP rank officials who are just walking past us, and these are all officials who've been called in particularly because of this particular case. At the end of this road, barricades have been put up. They're not allowing any any localites who are right now gathering near the police station to come anywhere close by. And in all likelihood, very soon, if the medical examination is done, he will be brought back to the very same place that we just saw, or the rural police station, which of course is a much smaller complex building, and that area probably not good enough at this point in time for questioning, and probably for even staying through the night. So it's not very clear how they're going to do this, whether the questioning is going to happen through the night, or because they have taken him into custody, whether they'll question him from morning after the medical examination is done. So these are details that one of the senior police officials will have to probably come out and give a confirmation on. So we are of course waiting on those details, but at this point in time, a very major development coming in, and a lot of questions were being asked over the last 5 days as to why the police have not moved in this particular matter after the statement of the two complainants were recorded before the magistrate, and after that as well, the accused number 2 as well being questioned earlier in the day, and finally now an arrest coming by. This is a big development. How the political
massive development, Deepak, and I thank you for standing and reporting continuously, relentlessly for the past 6 days, and actually seeing this, covering in each and every detail the various lapses that have been reported as far as the actions of the police, of all of those involved over there at the Mutt are concerned. But let me quickly, in fact, take this back to our guests who are with us. Imran continues to report on the story as well. But if I can go quickly back to Naveen Choman. Naveen Choman, it is of course going to be a very long night in Chitradurga, perhaps one of the longest it has ever seen, given the kind of huge police deployment we are looking at. There is going to be a medical examination. There is of course going to be the production of the accused before the judge, and given the sensitivities involved in the speed with which the arrest took place, the manner in which the arrest took place, one can only assume that the police would want to do it at the earliest possible occasion.
Definitely, the police will try to move the court tomorrow early in the morning, get the custody, and before the other parties try to take some processions or take the law and order in their own hands, they will try to ensure that the message goes to the public that the seer has been arrested. But the question still arises that, of course, I'm not criticizing your channel or any other channel, but it has not forced the police to act in any adverse manner. But I think the real reason for arresting him in such a great hurry is because of the threat from certain section of the society who are threatening to tomorrow create some chaos in the society, in the law and order situation to go out of the hands. So this is not proper.
How is it a hurry?
In a country of ours.
How is it a hurry, Mr. Chomal? How is it a hurry in which the arrest has happened? It has been over 5 days.
So this is not the only
more than 150 hours to be more precise. Sanjay Hegde wants to respond to you on that point. Was it an arrest in a hurry? Or was the arrest itself hurried? Or was the police dragging its feet? Mr. Hegde, let Mr. Hegde respond to you, Mr. Chomal. You've spoken. Sanjay Hegde now. Yeah, you've spoken, sir. Let him respond.
It obviously was not in a hurry, but what I suspect also is that with the second accused being arrested, quite possibly that she has made statements which have confirmed whatever the allegations that were levied by the girls were. And so with additional material in hand, that is what possibly tipped the police's hand as far as the arrest is concerned. So this is just speculation on my part, but once the warden of the hostel was reeled in, and it's quite possible that there must be a statement or something that she has told the investigators. All
right, that could be a possible scenario that could have perhaps led to this kind of action on part of the police there in Chitradurga. I'm going to request all our guests to please stay with us. We're going to slip into a very small break. Imran and Deepak continue to bring you minute by minute updates on the story that we've been very relentlessly reporting here. We have had over half a dozen discussions on the same story, and clearly at some level or the other there has been a lot of pressure that has been built up. We're going to slip into a quick break and continue reporting on the developments coming in live from Chitradurga.